Hey, what's up, Turtle Riders? How's everyone doing? Give me one sec here. Mic check. Okie doke. How's the mic sound? All right there. Can you guys hear me okay out there in Turtle Land? All right. Welcome to the Turtleboy live show, ladies and gentlemen. I've gone ahead and I shared the link to this stream on the Clarence Woods Emerson page, the Turtleboy Sports Facebook page, which I think, did that pass, let me check. Did that pass 17,000 today? Let's see what's up for followers. The Turtleboy Sports page has 16,970 followers. So we need 30 more people to go ahead and like that page. I've also shared it on the Uncle Turtleboy page, as well as my Twitter account, which is at Dr. Turtleboy. I also have another Twitter account called at Turtleboy Phone. Just go ahead and follow them all. You're going to want to go ahead and do that because you never know when I'm going to be kicked off social media. Okay, so without further ado, welcome to the live show. I have a lot of things. I wasn't here on Tuesday night, as you guys know. I forget anything else. Oh yeah, if you like the program and you want to continue, there's a little $sign on the bottom. It's called Super Chat. If you press that, you can donate whatever amount of money you want. And you get a nice little billboard so you could write things like I can't stop you from doing that. If you write this, I can't stop you from doing that. Okay, so there's literally nothing I can do. So that's how the Super Chat function works. It comes up as like a billboard. I can't censor you. It's fun. Do what you got to do. You can also donate to the Cash App, which is $Uncle Turtleboy. Now, we almost were not here tonight, which is kind of ironic. I was not supposed to be here. I was going to go on the Clarence Woods Emerson page, but shit done changed up. So as you guys know, I had a little, or if you were following on the blog today, I don't know if some of you just follow, smash that subscribe button, by the way. So if you're just a YouTube subscriber and you don't follow me on any other medium, you probably don't know what happened today. And so you're going to find out. So last night I went to, and thank you very much, Joe. Last night, I went to a Wachusett Public School Committee meeting. It's the regional school district that I live in Holden. And masking is on the agenda. Masking is on the agenda everywhere. It's what's hot in the streets these days. It is really, really, really cooking up. Now, a month ago, I thought this was a done deal, and so did you guys. Like, nobody's wearing masks. Masks were done. Biden announced in May. Masks were done. And then right on cue, when school's about to start, the Delta variant comes along, whatever the fuck that is. And the Delta variant is, it's way scarier than the first COVID. It's like wicked Delta. It's scary, man. It's gonna get you. And it comes after kids, especially. The first one didn't get the kids. This one gets the kids. This is a bad one. This is a really bad one. You're not gonna like the Delta variant at all. Give me 1 second, Justice. Mike. Okay. So next thing you know, all of a sudden, districts across the country are starting to debate this. And thank God for the governors of Florida and Texas, because they got ahead of this and they said, no, you can't ban this. You can't, districts cannot force kids to mask. It's a parent's choice, as it should be. There's literally no scientific or statistical reason why any child in this country should be wearing a goddamn mask. I don't care if they can't get vaccinated. They also don't die. They don't die from coronavirus. And we're going to talk about what happened at the meeting at Wachusett tonight, because they had, even if you don't live in the Wachusett district, which most of you don't, let's be honest, what we're doing here is we are setting an example that the rest of the country should follow and that your school district should follow, because this fight is happening at your local school district, whether or not you realize it's coming, if it hasn't happened already. And in battle after battle is being fought. We're losing most of them, but we are winning some. Agawam announced the other day that they will not be having they unanimously voted. That's a Trump town. They voted not to force masks. East Longmeadow, right nearby, they're not doing masks. I haven't confirmed this. I was told Tantascwa. I haven't confirmed that for sure, but I have confirmed North Attleboro is not making them do it. That's what I've been told. What are the Rockland, Abington, name your town. There's a lot of towns in Massachusetts. There's probably like 15 of them now. Narragansett, the Templeton Phillipston district, they're not doing it. Middleborough's meeting is August 24th. Middleborough, I have faith that they're not going to do it. I don't think Middleborough's going to have a mask mandate because Carver, right next door, they didn't have a mask mandate. And Kingston, Plimpton, Halifax, which is also next door, they don't have it. And those are Trump towns, both Middleborough and Carver. Those are Trump towns. Now, Nashua is a city. I don't really know I can't speak for New Hampshire. I mean, yeah, Auburn got screwed. Millbury got screwed. Most of your towns are going to get screwed, especially if you live in a liberal town. Like if you live in Somerville, you have no shot. Cambridge, no shot whatsoever. Boston, no shot. Northampton, Amherst, not going to happen. Lawrence, not going to work. But if you live in a place like Holden, if you live in a town, I believe King Philip, the Plainville, I was told the Plainville Rentham. I don't know what they did, but I'm hearing they're not doing it as well. They're not doing masks. I heard Taunton might not be doing masks. Like if you live in a place like New Bedford or Canton, they're all going to do it. I assume Westford will probably do it too. I mean, you'll have to Drake-it. Oh, that's not good. Drake-it is a Trump town. If Drake-it is doing masks, that is a bad sign right there. That is a bad sign. Fall River's a city. I'm going to guess Fall River's doing masks, but Fall River for a city is not as liberal as other cities. They're like a 54% Trump town. Monty Tech, I was told, Monty Tech in Fitchburg, which is Holden goes to Monty Tech. I was told they weren't doing masks, but now here they are. So it is what it is. Anyway, Worcester, of course, is no doubt about it. But we're fighting it here in our little town. We got a little parent revolution going on over here. And I went to the meeting last night and I gave my little speech. And there was an incident on, I'll just pull it up. Let me pull the blog up there. Share screen. All right. So I'll play part of my speech from last night. Check this out. Now, this was almost not played, but here it is. Into our schools into virtual leper colonies by time out. On 5-year-olds. The grossest thing that I heard at the hearing on last Wednesday night was the othering of one of the emailers when she said that she wanted to attend the meeting, but there would be too many maskless, unvaccinated people in attendance. The people sitting in this crowd behind me tonight without masks on are members of our community being openly treated like the disease-infested parasites for our beliefs that our children should not be masked. We are blamed for being the sole cause of our country's problems and a threat to other people's children. This sort of dehumanization is how every authoritarian genocidal regime in world history has always begun. Ask the Chinese, Russian, or Cuban landowners who were blamed by the communist revolutionaries, or the Japanese Americans who were interned because they made white Americans feel unsafe, or the Tutsis in Rwanda who were blamed by the Hutu majority for being cockroaches that caused the problems in their country leading to their massacre. All of these began with the kind of language I heard from emailers at the last meeting, and quite frankly, some of the language I just heard from school committee members about being afraid of people in the audience. We don't bite, I promise. It's true. Step one is always to present a minority of the population. So yeah, there we go. So I go on and on. I just destroy them and kicked ass. A lot of people were watching the stream just because I think a lot of people even said in the stream that basically they're watching this as a model for what to do in their town. And there was tons of fire emojis going on in there. They've never got such high ratings. That's what happens when Turtleboy moves to your town. You're all of a sudden your school committee gets the highest ratings it's ever had, etc. So I post this on YouTube, and next thing you know, I get this. It says medical misinformation. Make this bigger. It was removed, and it was said it was removed for medical misinformation. YouTube does not allow content that spreads medical misinformation that contradicts the World Health Organization or local health authorities' medical information about COVID-19. Okay, so this is pretty goddamn Orwellian. This scared the shit out of me. Not only that, we got a strike and I was told I could not stream for whatever amount of days. Now, I did appeal it because I'm here right now, obviously. And people are like, why are you using this? Well, because I don't believe in going to the ghetto. People are like, use Rumble, right? Well, I looked into Rumble today. Rumble doesn't have free live streaming. That's gay. That's gay. I'm not going to some gay website, period. If your website forces creators to pay to live stream, your site's gay. I ain't doing it. Period. Not happening. I mean, I'll do it if it's free. Thank you very much, Suzanne. Says she sent $15. She says for rocking it at the school board meeting. Thank you very much. So I'm not doing it. Like, I'm not going to some website that doesn't offer free live streaming. That's one thing right there. Do they have a super chat function? Number 2, because again, this is a revenue stream for me. This is kind of like what I do for a living. It's part of it. So if I can't monetize it at all, then what are we doing here? Like, this isn't a hobby. This is my life. Okay. And so I appealed it, luckily. And let's see what I'm checking my email now. This is all, let's see. This is what they showed me. I'll show you what they showed me. Stop screen. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see this. This says, we have reviewed your appeal for the following content. After taking a look, we can confirm that your content does not violate our standards. Thanks for your patience. Our goal is to make sure content doesn't violate whatever. Okay, so I beat the test. Now, I don't know why it got called for medical misinformation in the first place. I'm guessing. Look at it. I never check my shit over here. We have age restricted your content. I never read my emails. Okay, cool. All right. Anyway. I should probably read my emails. I don't do that very often, but anyway, yeah, I'm bringing traffic to YouTube. Not that they need me that much. They're the 3rd most traffic website in the world, but this should scare the shit out of you. And yeah, all these assholes talking about, well, it's a private company. Thank you very much there, Joey. She says, I spent 2 hours on live stream and no kids in school. We're all sick of this. Exactly. We're all sick of this. So this should scare the shit out of you, because if we are going to be kicked off social media for little shit like this, just talking about, I mean, what did I say that was untrue? What that entire speech, the summation of that speech was 2 things. Number 1, you can't be mean to people. Like, don't be civil with your neighbors. Don't, just because we have masks doesn't mean we're dirty. Just because we don't wear masks doesn't mean we're uncivilized. Okay. And number 2, it's a pretty safe town here. Like, literally, if you don't feel safe in America, then where do you feel safe? We're the most vaccinated country on earth by far. We're one of the most vaccinated states on earth. And Holden is one of the more vaccinated towns in the most vaccinated state in the most vaccinated country on earth. So if you're not safe now, then when are you going to feel safe? And your fear is not my problem. Like, that's a you problem, not a me problem. So my issue, and I put this up on Facebook, and I said this, and I'm like, look it. If you voted for Joe Biden, then you're no longer welcome here. And I mean that. Not that you know, okay, let me rephrase that. If you still support this administration after what they're doing to me, then you're no longer welcome here, and I don't understand why you're here, because their entire administration and what they stand for is antithetical to what I stand for at Turtleboy Sports. I stand for free speech, free expression, the exchanging of ideas in the public square. That's what I believe in, American values. They don't believe in that. They are a regime that values censorship and loyalty to the state. This is 1 month ago. The evil redhead who's in charge of the country, here's what she said. about
providing for Facebook or other platforms to measure and publicly share the impact of misinformation on their platform and the audience it's reaching. Also with the public, with all of you, to create robust enforcement strategies that bridge their properties and provide transparency about rules. You shouldn't be banned from one platform and not others for providing misinformation.
You shouldn't be banned from one platform, but not others. Who the fuck appointed you the queen of anything, cunt? You shouldn't be banned from one platform or another. Who the fuck are you to tell me a private business who should and should not be banned? Who the fuck are you? And this should scare the shit out of you, you fucking libertarian cunts. Where are you bitches at? Huh? You know how I feel about libertarians. They're literally fucking ass cancer. They're the worst people in the world. Oh, you don't like it? Just build your own. Yeah, build your own internet, fuckface. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that right now. Let's go build an internet. Oh, okay. Well, it's not the state doing it. As long as it's like billion-dollar tech oligarchs crushing your speech rights. Yeah, they allowed the Taliban to. And you know what? I prefer the Taliban. This might be controversial. I'd rather be ruled by the Taliban than by these people. The Taliban aren't trying to kick me off social media. They're not. They, I mean, I'm a guy, so I guess it's a little easier for me to be Team Taliban. And I'm straight, so that helps too. But I do have some issues with the Taliban, like the murdering and stuff. But also the hygiene and the outfits. Like, what is it, the outfits? Like, seriously? Do they not have colors in Afghanistan? Every time you see a picture of two Talibans, right? You see some Taliban grown-ups and a little Taliban boy. And the little Taliban boy has pants on. And you're like, okay, that's normal. Pants are normal. And then you see the grown-ups and they're all wearing muumuus. At what point in a young Taliban's life do they just say, fuck it, I'm wearing the muumuu? That's what I'd like to know. And who picks out the colors? Why is every fucking Taliban muumuu brown or black? Like, that's the only colors they come in? What are we going to do today? What should I wear? Oh, I think I'm going to wear my brown muumuu. Yeah. I'm going to take my Kalashnikov out there, maybe shoot some rounds into the sky. Allah Akbar. And the beards, too. The beards. I understand they want to grow beards. Can they trim them a little bit? Can they manscape them? Perhaps. It's getting a bit absurd. There's pubes hanging. Every one of these guys has, like, they're just not even beards. They're covered with pubes that it looks like bushes that are not properly maintained. These guys. What is with that? What is with that? Now, I will give the Taliban some credit. Like, they're persistent. They actually give a shit. At least they stand for something. Like, America, like, they literally are taking, like, whenever they always tell us, right? They tell people when it comes to gun rights, they'll say, well, what do you need guns for? The government has nuclear bombs and tanks. Yeah, they do have nuclear bombs and tanks. And the Taliban just whooped ass. And so did the Viet Cong. That's the thing about, they whooped their ass. If you're willing to die for what you stand for, you can pretty much defeat anyone. Because you're crazy. Because your enemy isn't willing to die as much. They have shit to live for. And if you don't, that's advantage you. So Team Taliban has also never, tried to kick me off social media. They've never called me, Team Taliban has never called me a white supremacist, ever. Like, ever. This team has, frequently. They do it all the time. Team Taliban isn't trying to make me respect gender pronouns. Like, what would happen at a press conference with the leader of the Taliban? So, excuse me, sir, what are your pronouns? Allah and Akbar. You can call me Allah and Akbar. Those are my pronouns. Thank you, Ruth David. So grateful for your tenacity as a single mom, an immune-compromised individual, and a business owner. Thank you. There you go. Immune-compromised individual still supports freedom. Excellent. So they're not trying. I mean, think of what else is in the Taliban making me do. The Taliban's also not making my kid wear a mask. Unless they're a girl, then they got to cover everything. But they're not making me, I don't know. They're not making me, learn about pansexuals. They're not making me learn about critical. I don't have to read White Fragility or Ibram Kendi. I don't have to go to any diversity. I don't think the Taliban's going to be doing any diversity, inclusion, and equity trainings mandatory at the job. I'm seeing a lot of pluses of being under Taliban rule as opposed to being under American rule. And that's a big reason why I don't want to get involved in foreign affairs at all. If you get involved in foreign affairs of other countries, it should be because you got your own shit figured out. Like things are going so well for your country that you have the luxury of being able to try to help other countries. Well, things aren't going well for our country. Our country's fucked up, man. Like, I'm sick of pretending where this is a normal place. It's not normal what is happening here right now. They shut down the whole fucking country. Our kids are wearing masks. No one else is doing that. Ask Laura from London. Or anybody who's in France or Germany. 6-year-olds there are not masked. That's not a thing. That's only America does that. We have so much shit going on here in our own country that I want to get fixed. I don't give a fuck about Afghanistan. I don't give a shit about the schools in Afghanistan. I don't care about women's rights in Afghanistan. That's not my problem. We don't have the luxury to give a shit about them. I care about those women in Afghanistan going to school about as much as they care about me being on Facebook. Okay? Which is to say, not at all. Because they got their own problems and I got mine. And I just don't care. I don't. It's not America's job to go around building shit. Now, with that said, there was no plan to leave. Like what? What the fuck? That's like what it's like leaving your family in the middle of the night. If you're gonna get divorced, then do it the right way. Plan shit. Figure out who's getting the kids. Whatever. Don't just leave town. Oh, hell breaks loose. That's what's happening here. It's fucking insane. We just left and we told them ahead of time, yeah, we're out. Don't give them a heads up either. How hard is it to sit down with the fucking Taliban? But look at, dude, y'all motherfuckers are crazy. We know that. Allah Akbar. Yeah. Death to America. Okay, it's fine. Do your thing. We know there's not going to be any women's rights around here. We know that's all gone. The second that we fucking leave here, we get it. However, you want us out and we want out. So we have a common interest. So why don't we just agree that we will get the fuck out, but you got to give us can you give us 4 months till after we leave and then you just take everything over? Can we get our people out first? Can we do that? Something like that. Instead, we got fucking mass panic at the airport. Apparently there's no police. There's nothing. There's people running onto fucking planes on the runway, falling off of planes. It's absolute insanity. And this motherfucker's on vacation. And what does he do yesterday? He goes on television, finally, and talks about masks. Masks, yeah. The whole world is burning. We're an international fucking joke. And this guy comes on and tells me why my kid needs to wear a mask in school. Fuck you, cunt. That's what I think of you. What a joke. What an absolute joke. So yeah, even if you voted for Biden and, you're watching this Afghanistan thing happen, that doesn't disqualify you from riding the turtle. I don't care. It's funny to me that you'd be that stupid. But it's not disqualifying. What is disqualifying is this shit. Like, listen to this. Listen to this thing. This is literally a month ago. This is not a coincidence that we got kicked off of YouTube right after this happened.
Participant in the process would aid the effort.
And then speaking of misinformation and the announcement from yesterday, for how long has the administration been spying on people's Facebook profiles looking for vaccine misinformation?
Well, that was quite a loaded and inaccurate question, which I would refute. Well, Peter, first of all, as you know, we're in a regular touch with a range of media outlets. As let me finish. As we are in regular touch with social media.
I love how they weren't wearing
platforms.
masks a month ago. This is amazing. Look back at
Open
this.
information, people sharing information online, just as you are all reporting information on your news stations.
But okay, so these 12 people who you have on a list, 12 individuals, do they know that somebody at the Surgeon General's office is going through their profile?
I'm happy to get you the citation of where that comes from. There's no secret list. I will tell you that these are people who are sharing information on public platforms on Facebook, information that is traveling, is inaccurate. Our biggest concern here, and I frankly think it should be your biggest concern, is the number of people who are dying around the country because they're getting misinformation that is leading them to not take a vaccine.
That's all it comes down to right there. People are dying. That's whenever these people get trapped in the corner, it's like people are dying because they're not getting the vaccine. It's your fault because of misinformation. That's not why. There's nobody in this country is not getting the vaccine because of misinformation. It's not a thing. People at this point, people like me, if you recall, go listen to the tape like 3 or 4 months ago. I said I would get the vaccine if it took no effort on my part, right? If I was just walking along and someone was like, hey, you want the vaccine? Like I was in New York City a couple weekends ago. This is fucking vaccine inside the museum, inside the art, what it was like the dinosaur museum, whatever the fuck that one's called. And they're like, yeah, the vaccine, I just got my vaccine right there. No wait, no line, whatever. I didn't do it. You know why? Because this point, I just fuck you. That's why. I'm not afraid of the vaccine. I've put a lot of shit in my body over the years. I went to UMass. I pretty much did anything that, people on my floor had that could get you, fucked up. I would do it. So I'm not afraid of putting shit in my body. Like I'll put a vaccine in my body. I don't give a shit. Whatever. YOLO. That's just the way I am. I took the date rape drug in college. Somebody was selling on the floor, was selling liquid GHB. Took that. Bad mushrooms I took. You name it. Acid. If there was a drug around and, somebody on my floor had it, I was putting it in my body. I'm not going to be one of these people that pretends like I'm not taking a vaccine because my body's a temple and I don't want shit going. No, you tell me to do something, I'm probably going to do it. Okay. That's the way I am. I give in to peer pressure easily. I don't give a shit. I'll do it. Fuck it. Watch me. You dare me to do it, I'll do it. So I might have been inclined to take the vaccine. Now I don't want to do it because of them. Like you're making their message, they're so bad at messaging and they've made it so political. And it's just like, I feel like there's a lot of people like me who are just like not getting the vaccine because fuck you. That's why. I'm not getting the vaccine because you're telling me that my rights are contingent upon getting it. And that makes me question it a lot more. Like, what? No. If this vaccine is so great, you shouldn't have to convince anyone of it, right? If it's saving, obviously the people who aren't getting the vaccine are people like me. The largest group is 20 to 39. Because we've looked at the numbers and we're like, yeah, I'm not going to die from COVID. Yeah, it's like, And if you do die from COVID and you're unvaccinated, well, what are you going to do? Oops. Should have got the vaccine. That's on you. Because one thing I will say is that it's showing us, right? People who get the vaccine, and I'm not a vaccinator, look at the numbers. People who get the vaccine can get COVID. It happens all the time. But they're much less likely to die. That's just a fact. So if you're an old fat piece of shit and you get COVID and you would normally be a lot higher risk, you're less of a risk now because of the vaccine. I don't know why. It's just how it's working out. Okay. So that's it. Me, I'm 39. I exercise. I would like to think I'm somewhat healthy. I don't need any vaccine. I'm good. I'm good. I am the vaccine. My body is a temple. I'm not worried. I'll fuck COVID up. Like I'm not worried about COVID. Stop it. So no, I'm not getting your stupid vaccine, and it's because of you. You're the reason why. And a whole lot of people are vaccinated. I'm sorry. What is 70% of this country is vaccinated? The fuck you want? 100%? What? That's not enough? 70? You said that was the magic number, 70. Well, I guess it wasn't. And now the booster shots are coming. Oh, the boosters. Yeah, oh yeah. So you just have to get the vaccine and then give it every 6 months. Get another one. What? I'm not doing that shit. I don't know if you guys saw this today, but Charlie Baker is starting to get bad with this shit. He's starting to give it a peer pressure. He's holding it down for a while. He came out and he's forcing all state employees to get vaccinated. You guys see this? And, state employees, and I was just waiting for this to happen, includes the Massachusetts State Police. And most Massachusetts State Police troopers are, healthy, young men. And I'm sure a good lot of them are not vaccinated. Because why would they be? And so they also have an extremely strong and powerful and influential union, the Massachusetts State Police. And this is what they released today. The state police union says, as with many other unilateral decisions made by the Commonwealth, this order imposes direct changes in the terms and conditions of employment for members of the State Police Association. Prior to implementing any change, the employer is required, pursuant to General Law C-150E, to bargain with the association. So this is how powerful the state police are. They're like, no, you don't do anything without asking us. And they're scared. Like, he's scared of the state police union. And good. That's how you know they're in a real union. Currently, today's order to take effect in 59 days on October 17th, the association immediately directed our legal counsel to file a demand for impact bargaining within the department. This demand was presented today and is on record with the Commonwealth. This is why I like unions. This is why I'll never, ever be anti-union. Some people say we need to dissolve unions. No, we don't. No, we just need to not listen to them all the time. That's it. Like, this is why we need unions. When you're being forced to put government juice in your body in order to keep your job, yeah, you need a union because you need to hire a lawyer. That's what you need to do because you have rights. And lawyers cost money, and that's where union dues should go to. This demand was presented today and is on record with the Commonwealth. Since the policy was announced, without any prior or opportunity to bargain, SPAM has requested that the executive order be put into abeyance pending the employer meeting its bargaining obligations under the law. Exactly. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, so you're forcing me to do this. What am I getting in return? Right? What are you giving us? That's how bargaining works. You can't just be like, you have to do this, and then you get nothing for it. What are we getting out of this? We don't agree to this. Our members need to put this to a vote. Yeah, I mean, the thing about being apolitical, like Cherokee says, I agree unions are still necessary. They should be required to be apolitical. Well, I mean, I assume you're talking about you don't think they should donate to cause campaigns, right? Political campaigns. But that's free speech, man. That's Citizens United. That's what that Supreme Court decision said. Money is speech. You can't stop people from donating money, period. I don't know how you stop that. Anyway, so back to this. So this happens. And I go to the meeting last night. And let's watch some of the highlights of this meeting. Did you guys watch this meeting? Because it was pretty wild. So we saw my speech. But at first, they did not want to let us talk. They actually got up there and they're like, well, if one person is talking, like, and everybody's going to say the same thing, why do we need to hear from everybody? Okay. Like, why can't you just one person say it? It's like, no. And I was raising hell. I'm just like, no. Okay, then fine. Can we all put masks on there? Okay. She wants to talk about choice. She wants to talk about health impacts of it. I want to talk about totalitarianism. We're all talking about different aspects of it. Don't say we can't talk. This is a public meeting. And there's only like 6 people. We raised hell. Luckily, we had a couple advocates, Lorway, and a couple others on the school committee that represented the parents and were like, no, these people deserve a chance to talk, and they let us talk. But this bitch from Princeton, oh my God, the Princeton is the worst town. It's just it is. They didn't even have internet and cable till a couple of years ago. Just the worst. Don't get me started on Princeton. So this is the representative from Princeton and her thoughts on why she did not feel comfortable voting for whether or not schools should force masking.
Mr. Chairman, yes.
Yes.
I would like to ask school committee members to, and the chairperson to think about whether or not we can have a vote, a roll call vote, without jeopardizing the right of each school committee member to vote with their conscience rather than to vote out of concern.
First of all, she can't even breathe. I mean, just look at her. This is COVID. This is everything wrong with COVID in a nutshell. This woman who has let herself go, clearly exercises never, is up here with a fucking face mask on. You can't understand what she's saying because she's smothered in a face mask. She can barely breathe because she's so out of shape, and talking takes up a lot of energy. And she has a fucking mask on that's preventing her from breathing. And she's saying, well, I am very worried that school committee members will not be able to vote their conscience because why?
Whether they will be treated with respect.
Because and then he goes, what? First of all, is she cross-eyed? I don't want to pick on the cross-eyed, but what the fuck? That mask is like 10 sizes too small, too. Look at that thing. Look at that thing. Do they not make masks at the big and tall? Oh my goodness gracious. That poor mask is just gasping for life.
Can you elaborate?
He's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I would say that.
Now, by the way, you're going to hear me yell at the end of this. Listen if you can hear me yelling in the audience.
School committee members have a right to vote according to their conscience, but there is an atmosphere here where people may feel that they will not be treated with respect.
Wait a minute. There is an atmosphere here. There is 30 people in the audience, mostly women and children, holding signs saying, don't mask me. Yeah, oh no, it's an atmosphere. It's a scary atmosphere. People advocating for their children. Oh, it's fucking scary here. Yeah. Soccer moms with signs. Oh no. Scary. Scary shit. So you'll hear me here.
And they could be subject to harassment.
Don't run for office. Don't run for office. They could be subject to harassment. Not they are, they could be. What does that mean? Well, you literally ran for public office to be in the public eye. You signed up to make decisions like this. And now you're saying you don't want to vote on this publicly because people might be mad at you. Well, guess what? Okay. First of all, it's stupid. It's insane that any elected official would feel comfortable saying that out loud. That I'm scared of the people that I represent. I'm scared of them. They might harass me if I vote to abuse their children. I'm so scared. They're not one size fits all. I know. It's so true. So this woman is up here, and I'm like, you can't possibly be serious, lady, like with what you're saying right now. But at the same time, I'm happy she said it because guess what? It shows that it's working. What we're doing is working. She's scared. I didn't mean to scare her, but if she's scared and she doesn't want to make this decision anymore, win's a win. Mission accomplished. Because Now, what they're going to do, if I'm up here looking at this meeting, there's 17 people there, 17 or 18 members. All but 3 had masks on. And the ones at all but 4, I apologize, had masks on. And the ones at home, Asima Silva, of course, is not there again. Every time they called on her, she's the woman that beat me in my election by over 300 votes, hasn't been to a meeting once since this all started. And every time they call on her to vote, what are we voting on? I swear to God, she's not paying attention. She doesn't watch anything. I don't even know why she wants to be on the school committee. But she said her and then a couple other pro-mask people were sitting their ass at home. So the fact that they're afraid to do this, that's a good thing. It makes me believe that they are going to defer to the superintendent, and the superintendent was not wearing a mask at this meeting again, which at this point is a symbol of it's a political statement that, like, I'm going to do whatever DESE tells me to do. And right now, DESE is only recommending that we wear masks. That's it. So that is mission. We have no chance with the school committee, none. But you got a chance with the superintendent. And so this works. Activism works. These people should fear you. That's the point. Like in any good government, our founding fathers created this country so that our elected officials do fear us. They should fear you. They should. That's the problem in this country right now is elected officials have gotten way too comfortable about the way they're speaking to you people, telling you all, well, maybe we'll let you do this. If you're good, if you get vaccinated, we might let you go out. Who the fuck do you think you're talking to, son? That's the way we need to start. We need to start putting the fear of God in these people. Like there was a video out of Tennessee that Joe Biden keeps whining about. Have you guys seen this video of parents confronting these doctors? Let's see. Tennessee school board meeting masks. Let's see. Yeah, check this out.
We did it again. Verizon has been named America's most reliable network by RootMetrics, and our customers rated us #1 for network quality in America, according to J.D. Power, proving there's only one best network.
Check this out.
Will not comply! Will not comply! Will not comply! Will not comply! No more masks!
These are doctors they're yelling at who testified that we wanted masks.
There's a bad place in hell, and everybody's taking notes, buddy. Keep that little smug. Put it back on. Put your mask on. Keep sucking that bacteria. How you like that? Then we know.
You know what? A lot of people are like, oh, I don't like the tactics. I fucking love it. I love it. I love it. Enough. These people think that you can just get away with this. Like, people are far too comfortable talking shit in this country because nobody ever gets punched in the face anymore. Nobody ever, there's never any consequences for you're trying to abuse my child and you think I'm just going to let you get away with that? These people are far too comfortable. If they start fearing us, then we're doing our job. They should fear us. Doctors should not feel comfortable going in front of a school board and be like, yeah, we should abuse all these kids. Fuck them. Fuck these kids. Mask those motherfuckers. Oh, yeah? That's my fucking kid, dickhead. I have a problem with that.
Know who you are. No more masks.
Keep it calm.
No more masks.
We're on these guys' side. They're
No,
on our side.
no, they're not. They're not on our side.
The police are on our side. The police are on our side. Let's calm down.
Yes.
Calm down.
We
know who you are.
We
know
know
who
who
you are.
you are.
You can leave
We know who
freely,
you are.
but we will find you, and we know
You
who
will
you
never
are.
be allowed in
We know
public
who you
again.
are.
You will never be allowed.
I know
You never
who
let
you
him be
are.
allowed in public
I know,
again.
hey, sir. I know who you are. Let him out. Let's let him out. Let him out.
So good for them. Joe Biden keeps crying about that. Oh, parents down in Tennessee. Oh, no. They hate it when the commoners get together and they, have had enough. That's literally what our country is founded on. By the way, they loved when Black Lives Matter did it last summer. They loved that when they acted much more savage than that. But that was for a good thing. That was for St. George. That was a good thing. COVID didn't exist for a month back then. So anyway, I want to show you some more parts about this meeting here. I got the whole link for it somewhere in there because you got to hear this student speak. That was the highlight to me of the night. There was a lot of great parent speakers again. And by the way, look at the way this woman wrote to this mother. She goes, "Thank you for the email. I'm glad we agree that data is important. I would call your attention to the figure you provide of 349 child deaths from COVID-19. I think that is tragic, and that is 349 too many deaths. All of these children dead from this pandemic had mothers and fathers. That's irrelevant. They had mothers and fathers." She's like, "I love data, but also let me fearmonger her and use emotions." No. 349 out of what? 75 million kids in this country is not statistically significant. I'm sorry, it's not. It's not. 349,000 would be. 349 is not. It's just not. It's one out of how many? Is that like that's almost 1 in a million? Almost. No, we don't force masks on kids because 1 out of a million is dying. That's not a thing. We're not doing that. And it wouldn't stop it from happening. It doesn't stop. Like we don't put it on for pneumonia, do we? Or the flu. No, we don't. But they don't care about logic. That requires logical thinking. And these people are fucking idiots. Like, look at this idiot. Tell me this isn't political when you go to her page. Look at this woman. This fucking woman gets to decide educational opportunities for my kids. She's like, "I want to be treated with respect." Well, guess what? I don't fucking respect you. I have no respect for you. Respect is earned. You haven't earned my respect. You're a joke. Everything about you is a joke. And I have no respect for you. None. What you're saying is stupid. And I'm not going to take it seriously. And I'm going to laugh at you. And she demands to be called doctor. Probably not going to do that. Probably not going to do that. All right. So let me go to the Let me pull this up then. I'll pull it up on Facebook. Give me 1 second. Had it. I'll choose Holden TV. You got to see this student speaker. This was, I was saddened to see this. Saddened.
At the high school,
And
you graduated.
this to students, including schedule information, extracurricular opportunities through a link in our meeting report, as well as through social media pages. And these may be helpful for statement regarding my position on mask wearing in school.
Okay, so notice she's going to talk about her position on mask wearing in schools. The other kid is not wearing a mask, or is wearing a mask. She's not. I'm like, okay, cool. Obviously, she's going to speak out against mandatory masking because she's not wearing a mask, and she would look pretty ridiculous if she did. So here's what she says.
My role in this committee includes speaking upon issues that impact the student experience, and clearly wearing a mask will impact students every day.
Yes.
I would like to begin by stating that I myself, and I speak for myself and many other students, but just as adults are divided on this issue, students too have their own individual perspectives. I'm not a health expert, and I believe that our district should follow the recommendations given by the Board of Health, American Academy of Pediatrics, and Center of Disease Control.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Last Wednesday evening, it was critically important to listen to the stories and respect.
And Member Lavoie brought up a really good point that I've thought of before. Last year, the American Association of these people all cite the AAP, the American Association of Pediatrics, saying that, well, they say that we should wear masks. We should follow their advice. Well, last year, you know what the AAP said about schools reopening? It's safe to reopen schools. We should reopen schools. That's what they said. And then we didn't listen to them. So they don't give a shit about enough of that, pretending these people give a shit about experts or what anybody says like that. They don't care about that. They only care about it, right? If they're saying the things that you want, then they'll cite you.
Perspectives of numerous families in our district. Clearly, the last year has brought about extreme disruption, unforeseen challenges, and tragedy. I took time to consider each statement and perspective, as each member of the community deserves to be heard and respected completely. I will go through several lines of reasoning that have led me to the conclusion that a mask mandate is reasonable at this time in our schools.
Damn it.
The purpose of a public school is to provide a free, quality education for all students in the local community.
Now, I don't want to pick on a kid, okay? And I'm not going to pick on her. But she's at a school committee meeting now pushing for policy that affects my kids. So when you do that, I'm going to have a problem with you. And my bigger problem with the kids like this in general, right, is just like, what is wrong with you kids these days? Like, you're kids. You're supposed to be youthful. You're supposed to rage against the machine. Now you're raging for the machine. Like, the whole purpose of being young is to defy authority, to defy adults, to think unconventionally. That is what traditionally throughout time the youth has always done. College students are the ones who basically ended the Vietnam War. That's where all, college students like John Lewis are the ones that brought about the civil rights movement. That's what young people historically have done. They have seen the establishment and they have said, no, we're doing things a different way. Now, the problem with these, fascists in training is that they want to rage for the machine. That's what's in these days. Like, yeah, watch me get in line. I'll get in line. Yeah, Black Lives Matter. Getting in line. It's pathetic. It's pathetic.
Regardless of background, identity, or health status. Our approach regarding COVID medication should be consistent across all schools in the district, and we should not differentiate between age, grade, vaccination status, as the social stratification due to mask wearing is an added challenge for students and teachers. We all agree that it is critical to have students back in school in person for 5 days a week in order to achieve the school safely. Wearing a mask is a small precautionary measure that can be taken along with other mitigation measures.
Okay, enough of this small precautionary measure. It's not a small precautionary. It's not. Wearing a fucking mask on your face for 7 hours a day is not a small measure. Can we stop saying that? Well, just put the mask on. It's so easy. No, it's fucking not. It's uncomfortable. I can't breathe. It's fucking disgusting. And my kid doesn't want to do it. Stop asking. Oh, it's just so fucking easy. Fuck you then. Put your mask on. Wear 5 masks. Jesus Christ. Literally, it's a torture. The fuck do you think they do? What do you think waterboarding is? Take a fucking thing, a rag on your face and dump water on you. So you can't breathe. Jesus, go on.
School Committee Policy 6612.3, the policy relating to face mask coverings, is extremely inclusive as it provides exceptions to the mask policy for students and staff with medical and behavioral challenges. Further, schools will provide masks to those who do not enter with one, demonstrating that the policy does not discriminate based on socioeconomic status.
Oh my fucking God. She thinks that's the problem. She thinks the problem is that we might discriminate against kids based on socioeconomic status. No, dear. Poor kids don't want to wear them, neither do rich kids. Nobody wants to wear a fucking mask. Stop it. I mean, it's just like kids used to have fun being like, I hope kids have some rebellion left to them. Don't wear the fucking mask in school, kids. Don't do it. And I've looked it up. It's not punishable. They cannot suspend you for this. Don't do it. I hope there is mass resistance to this across our country, across districts. And again, first kid that gets suspended for not wearing a mask, come to Uncle Turtleboy. I am pledging $50. I have somebody else who's come and donated $50 as well. So the first 2 kids that come along and get suspended for wearing it, $50. I put a bounty out on this. If you would like to donate to this cause, let me know. I'm setting up a fund. It's like a bail fund for mask vandals. If you want to be a kid, if you want to be a juvenile delinquent who doesn't wear masks, we will pay. We will incentivize you. You should. Don't be like this kid. This kid is an establishment tool. That's all this kid is. For her, the rest of her life, she will be a follower. That's what she's ingrained to do. She will never amount to anything special because she doesn't take challenges and she doesn't question things. She'll do fine in life. She's obviously well-spoken. I'm sure she works hard. She probably gets good grades. She's active in school committee stuff. She'll be fine. She'll have a nice middle-class existence. But she's never going to go too far because she's too afraid to take risks and challenge things. And so, she will live and then she will die and the world will go on and she will not leave a long-lasting footprint. You can. She goes on.
Students are able to remove masks when eating, drinking, and when outside. I cannot think of anything more empowering for a child than saying that wearing a mask can...
And this is the part that got me. She goes, students are allowed to take their masks off when they eat and drink or go outside. What? This poor little girl. What? Oh, thank you. She thinks that she owes the school is doing them a favor by allowing them to take their masks off to drink water and eat food. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's so kind of you. As if the virus can't spread when they're doing that. I mean, seriously. Go on.
Truly make a difference in the community.
It can make a difference.
A child being told in a positive way that their actions are important and that what they are doing matters gives that student a feeling of purpose and belonging.
Oh my God. So she's telling me, this person with no kids is telling me how to parent my kid. Oh, just tell your kid that, you're doing this. It has purpose and belonging. You're doing something bigger. You think my kid gives a shit about that? She can't breathe or talk. But, this 17-year-old with no kids on her own, she's telling me how to parent my child. Thank you.
With the past year being filled with disappointments and a lack of control, children will be empowered, knowing that their action of wearing a mask correctly can make a positive impact and help their friends, their teachers, and their community safe.
It's not.
A mask is a reminder that you are part of something greater than yourself.
A mask is a reminder that you are part of something greater than yourself. That is cult language, dear. Part of something greater than yourself? Do you hear yourself? You're just too young to understand and not well read enough to understand the type of language that you're using is the type of language that every single communist and authoritarian dictator of all time has ever used. The greater good. It's for the greater good. Yes. Join the Hitler Youth. It's for the greater good. Yes. Snitch on your parents. It's for the greater good. For Germany. We will be great again. That is what you're doing. And you don't even know it. The greater good.
It's a reminder that we are connected to others. Our words and actions matter. A mask is a symbol of solidarity, kindness, and respect.
Our mask is a symbol of solidarity. Solidarity is the communist word. That's their solidarity, comrade. No, it's not. The mask is a sign of compliance, of blind obedience, of authoritarianism, of theater. That's what it is, because no one was wearing the mask, and you're not wearing a mask. Are you suggesting that you're not concerned about safety? Is that what you're saying right now?
Now, to address the topic of fear.
Fear.
I'm not scared of getting sick.
Okay.
And I'm not scared of dying.
Okay.
But what I am afraid of is ignoring reality.
Okay. You are ignoring reality. But go ahead.
Reality says that it is possible that I, my friends, my peers, and my teachers could get sick.
You could. Yes, you can also get the flu. You can get pneumonia. You can get a lot of things. You don't wear masks anyway.
It is possible that someone could die.
Yes, it's possible that you could die on the way to school in a car accident. Are you going to stop driving cars every day? It is possible. It's almost impossible, especially someone your age. It's literally you have a 1 in a million shot of dying from COVID. 1 in a million. But I suppose it's possible. If you're going to change your behavior based on a 1 in a million probability, that's the wrong way to go about living life. You haven't evaluated the statistical likelihood of anything.
Like with any life decision, we as a community must weigh the benefits and risks of our choices.
Yes, I completely agree. The benefits and risks of our choices. The risk is almost nothing. The benefit is pretty much nothing because you're not going to save any lives anyway, almost definitely. And the downside is the serious psychological impacts and the, just the normalization of, children being smothered with face masks too. That's not normal. We should not normalize that.
A mask is a small sacrifice that could have a big impact.
Enough with the small sacrifice shit.
School is about much more than a smile.
School is about much more than a smile. A kindergarten teacher got up there the other day and talked about this. She actually has experience doing this. What do you have experience with? Nothing. You have no experience. I'm sick of pretending like we have to, every time a kid speaks, we're supposed to sit there and be like, oh, good for them for speaking. No, I don't. If you want to enter the public arena with adults, I'm going to make fun of you just like any other adult. This is a stupid comment. This girl is fucking stupid. Go ahead.
Perseverance, civic responsibility, and kindness, regardless of one's perspective.
Kindness.
School is about inclusivity and respect. There are solutions for many of the issues that community members brought up last week. For example.
Time.
Please proceed.
Thank you.
So they just let her go. It's like, okay, she gets
Parents
to go
in the district may wish to consider purchasing clear face masks, which may help teachers and elementary students see each other's mouths.
Clear face masks.
Foreign language classes may benefit from this type of mask as well, and they may feel less restrictive for many. Schools must increase mental health services for students.
Wait, increase mental health services? Did you hear what she just said, guys? So she's admitting right there that masks cause mental health issues. And instead of just getting rid of the masks that cause the mental health issues, we should just have more mental health counselors. Yeah, don't cause don't treat the cause of the disease. Let's just continue treating what comes after. Did you hear what she just said? That's insane. That's insane. She's admitting that the masks cause mental health problems. And instead of doing something to stop the mental health problems, she's like, we'll just buy more Band-Aids to fix the mental health problems. Or just don't cause them in the first place. How about that?
Both those who are worried about getting sick and those who feel silenced by a mask. These services must be comprehensive and extend to students who before did not qualify for those services, all while being destigmatized. This summer, while working as a camp counselor, I've had a glimpse into the challenges teachers and young students will face when trying to communicate with one another. In my experience,
Point of order.
This guy's great.
In my experience, you can
Matt
still
Lavoie interrupts her.
Excuse me, Mr. Member Lavoie.
Yeah, it's not to disrupt what the member's saying, but
this guy's great.
Earlier in this meeting, you had said that it is prohibited to record our meetings, and we all have the Mass General Law for open meeting and for school committees, and this addresses the public body, and in Chapter 30A, Section 20.
He just interrupted her. It was great. He goes on like this, and then they take a recess for like 5 minutes. It was hilarious. And then they come back and they let her finish her speech, and it gets worse. Oh, she has her mask on. Did you look at her? She's got her mask on there, though, this time. It's such performative nonsense. And so, okay, let's finish your speech, all right? We're almost done.
And some of those reasons include that the purpose of our district is to provide a free quality education.
With that, and having gotten past that clarification, I'd like to turn it back to the report from our student representative who is reading a statement that was interrupted.
Thank you. I will just begin by summarizing a few of the points that I made before the 5-minute recess. So again, I do believe that a mask mandate is a very reasonable choice for our district at this time. And some of those reasons include that the purpose of our district is to provide a free quality education to all students. We all agree that we need to be back in school full time, and wearing a mask is something small that can make a big difference. The school committee policy is extremely inclusive, and that means that students with any sort of challenge or disability have the opportunity for exception from that policy. It is extremely empowering for a child to know that wearing a mask can make a difference in their community. A child, when told in a positive way that their actions are important and what they are doing matters, give that student a feeling of purpose and belonging in that school. And a mask is a reminder you're part of something much greater than yourself. It's not about being scared of sick or dying or anything like that. It's about reality. And reality says that COVID-19 is a real disease that could impact our community in a negative way. School is about perseverance.
Like, so our community is the most vaccinated community around. What are you talking about? We don't have a lot of cases here. Nobody's dying of COVID around here. It's not a thing. What are you talking about? What are we doing?
Civic responsibility and kindness, regardless of one's perspective. School is about inclusivity and respect. There are so many solutions to issues regarding face masks. For example, clear masks and the increase of mental health resources across our schools. This summer, while working as a camp counselor, I've had a glimpse into the challenges students and teachers face when trying to communicate. And in my experience, you can see expressions of happiness, sadness, and frustration in a cloth mask. Although it is true that it can be harder to hear at times, I've seen children make friends and clearly express themselves all while wearing a mask.
Oh, because so guys, who cares if my daughter says that she can't hear things? She went to camp. She's a camp counselor. She knows everything now. She's got it all figured out. This girl's a camp counselor. She saw kids with masks on and they can all talk fine. So what do you need a mask for?
School is meant to provide structure, and over the past year, it has failed to provide this structure with changing schedules and requirements. This year, we must make every effort to provide students with the structure that they need to learn and thrive. As the year progresses, we should reevaluate strategies such as mask wearing to be appropriate with vaccination levels and transmission rates.
Vaccination levels? You are in the most vaccinated town you could possibly get. What are you talking about? Kids aged 16 and 19 are 95% vaccinated in this town. What are you talking about? You are in. If that's not good enough, when will it be good enough?
This choice should be made in accordance with data regarding vaccination and transmission rates in the local area and in the nation. Unfortunately, we are still in the midst of a global pandemic.
Oh, God.
Thankfully, we are able to return to school, and it is a privilege that we have the access to vaccines and to masks. School and quality education is a fundamental right.
Yes, it is.
It is imperative that we take measures to keep students safe with their physical health, as it is equally important that we prioritize their mental health, and we also must, sorry, I'm just going to read this sentence.
Oh my God.
School and quality education is a fundamental right, and it is imperative that we will take measures to keep students safe with their physical health. And it is equally important that we prioritize and take measures to combat forms of discrimination. While continuing to evaluate the risk of physical health, risks involved in
Wait, discrimination? Go ahead. This should be, wait till you hear this
involved in reopening, we must also evaluate and take action against the plagues of racism, sexism, and many other forms of inequality.
What? We must fight against racism, sexism, and other forms of inequality? What are you talking about? What the fuck does that have to do with anything? That just proves that all this leftist agenda is just one big fucking pot, and now she's just reaching in and taking shit out of there. What are you talking about? Racism? This isn't a diverse town. It's not. Racism? If you want vaccine mandates, that is institutional racism, because guess what? The vast majority of people who are not vaccinated are black. Yeah. Well, Jim Crow there. Maybe don't be such a racist.
In our area. It is time that we mask against bigotry, prejudice, and hate, as well as the real virus of COVID-19.
Oh my God. Like oh my God.
Thank you. Any questions?
Oh, that is so cringe. So cringe. But what a good little. I don't even know what to say. I'm just that is the. I mean, are there kids out there who are normal, who are just like kind of like want to be independent? Are they out there? You guys need to start speaking up, and you need to start doing things in your community. And fuck your teachers, okay? If your teachers are the type of people that are gonna, force you to wear a mask, then they're not good people, and you don't have to listen to them. that if my kid's too young to violate the rules, she'd be too scared to do that. But if a guy like a 15, if she was 15, I'd be like, yeah, break the rules. Fuck that. Don't listen to them. Do whatever you want. Don't wear a mask. They can't do anything anyway. Just do it. Encourage your kids to be rebels. Good trouble, as John Lewis called it. Good trouble. All right. Any questions, guys, before we call it a night? I mean, seriously. She's going to start a GoFundMe? You know, seriously. The 2 claps at the end. I love that. I know if you're a kid and you speak and you can't get some pity claps, you know you didn't have a good speech. You didn't bring your gay game. All right. Anyone have any questions or anything? So I was going to talk tonight about the lawsuit, but I can get arrested. Actually, I talked to the police about this. So we all know who got a restraining order against me, a 10-day order. I have a hearing with this individual on Monday in court. And I have a lot and I'm thinking about, so what if maybe South Shore Turtle Girl comes out of retirement, or maybe somebody else comes out of retirement and writes about this for me, because these court docs are public information. Yeah. What if they come out and they write about it on this website? I can't control that. The restraining order says I can't talk about them, which is a First Amendment violation. Okay. I am being told by a judge that a certain heroin dealer who I've exposed for killing multiple women in the past, who's admitted to killing women, who is a heroin trafficker, who drives around looking for me, getting involved in hit and runs, that I can't talk about this person. That is a First Amendment violation. Now, I've hired attorney. I have Mark Randazza on it, and we're trying to get that part of it lifted so that I can expose this fucking judge. But it's moving around from one court to another, the Appellate Court, the SJC. It's getting bounced around. I don't understand how any of this shit works. But the bottom line, I'm like, should I violate this order? Should I do it? I'm not. And I told Mark today about this. I'm like, I don't care. He's like, he goes, as your attorney, I have to advise you not to violate this order. And I'm like, censorship is not what I do, Mark. I don't do censorship. And he goes, yeah, but you could get arrested for it. I'm like, I really don't care. I don't care. Like, let me be perfectly honest with you. Like, I'm willing to go to jail for this. I'm willing to die for this. I really am. I'm like, I would feel like I'm disrespecting all of the people who sacrificed their lives and everything that they owned so that I could speak freely if I were to voluntarily give up my rights because some cunt judge on a power trip, and I was never served for this, by the way, just decides arbitrarily, I don't like the First Amendment anymore. I'm not going to, fuck this. You can't talk about, you're a reporter, but you can't talk about this person. And I'm going to talk about him anyway. I don't do that. So I'm at the point where I'm like very willing to go to jail for this. But at the same time, maybe Diane Woods Emerson was saying that she wants to write a blog about this. And I'm not Diane Woods Emerson. So Diane Woods Emerson has some strong feelings about this. And Turtleboy is a platform, not a publisher. It's been ruled in court that it is. So maybe Diane Woods Emerson comes along and she writes a little story about this. Yeah. I mean, what's to stop her from publishing it? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point, Suzanne. I mean, look what's been done. Like Snowden and Assange are literally free speech activists who are, our government is authoritarian. And that's why I don't give a fuck about Afghanistan. That's why. Don't tell me we should go around building nations when we have a fucked up country ourselves where we don't get to speak freely. Enough of this bullshit. Yeah, maybe I'll let Diane write about it. How about that? Maybe Diane will write a blog. How about that? Diane, would you like to write a blog? Who's the person, Diane? I can't even say the name. Who are we even talking about here, Diane? Anybody know? I can't even say this person's name according to this judge. I can't stop you from saying it or you from writing about it. That's how fucking stupid this is, this order. It's got no teeth to it either. No, she didn't already write about it. No. But what if she wrote about it on Turtleboy? Because, again, Turtleboy is, anyone can write a blog on Turtleboy. It's a platform. Maybe Suzanne writes about it. I don't know. Who knows? Somebody can, because these are all public court docs. There you go, Snarky Turtle. He's not worth going to jail. It's not about him, Brenda. It's about the principle of free speech. It's about the judge. That's what it's about. All right. Any other questions, guys? Why doesn't Asima Silva go to the meet? Because she's a lazy piece of shit. I have no idea. Oh, yeah. David's getting married tomorrow. Congratulations in advance, David. How did you get YouTube done sent to you? I just appealed it and I won. I have no idea how. Court date is Monday. The hat's in the store. I think it's like $20-something, something like that. Yes, and that's the other thing. We need to sue this fucking judge. Yeah, court is open. It should be open to the public, I believe. I believe these are open hearings. Feel free to come. I guess I'm going to West Roxbury on... Although the court's... It's West Roxbury Court in Jamaica Plain. I don't even know what the fuck that means. Sean Gannon's killer didn't plead guilty. He's going to trial. I haven't even been following it. Does Carano annoy you? No, I like Carano. I like him. I haven't contacted the ACLU yet, but I'm going to. People are telling me not to. No, interesting. Interesting. Yeah, Turtleclub is coming back. It's just the last 2 Wednesdays I've had these school committee meetings. I'm done with those for now, so I'll be back. I promise. I promise. I owe you guys some streams. All right. All right, guys. So I guess we'll see you guys all on Saturday night for the next episode of Turtleboy Live. Peace, Turtle Riders.